What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Grant Frog, coming back as you would another video. Today, we're going to be reacting to animals that cannot die. What animal that can't die? You tell me. You tell me. Let's get into the video.
Ever wanted to live forever?
Yes, please.
Not like vampires hiding out in dungeons and teen movies, of course.
Hey, okay.
But like forever. Imagine that, huh? Before scientists discovered the elixir of immortality, it's something to dream about and to envy the other inhabitants of our planet. Because there are plenty of creatures on Earth that live forever. Well, almost forever. But so long that it seems as if they've defeated death. It's strange that in this scenario, people are blamed for overpopulation, not tardigrades. But first things first, subscribe to our channel and you won't miss any interesting videos. Done? Then let's go. Who'd have thought that lobsters had the secret of eternal life?
Lobster?
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't mean that they can't be killed. Otherwise, why would people catch them in such numbers?
Lobster killer.
Yet lobsters do have a secret. Most animals almost stop growing when they reach puberty, but not American lobsters. Moreover, even as an adult, this lobster can grow a limb if it accidentally loses it. It's a very useful ability. Everyone should have it, don't you think?
Yeah.
Unlike many creatures, including humans, American lobsters don't get weaker over the years. On the contrary, they stay strong and continue to grow in size. The bigger the lobster, the older it is. In 2009,
better than
a
me.
fisherman from Maine caught a huge 19-pound lobster that was 140 years old. And it's not even the oldest lobster found to this day. In 1997, people caught a 44-pound giant. So how many years can American lobsters live if they're not eaten? 300? 500? 1,000? Ming the clam. It's generally believed that scientists work for the benefit of our planet, unless they accompany their work with sinister laughter and live in a dark castle, of course.
$1 million.
But sometimes even the most innocuous ideas turn into a disaster, or a small tragedy. That's what happened to the clam called Ming. Just imagine, you're a clam.
Pearl of the sea.
No, you don't have to mime it, just imagine. You're a clam that was born in 1499. Amerigo Vespucci just reached the coast of South America. That's how long ago it was. Your life isn't particularly exciting. You filter the water, you eat plankton, you reproduce from time to time. Anyway, it's like the other clams' lives. That's how 507 years go by. But that's not the limit. You feel alive enough for a clam and you don't want to die at all. But you're pulled out of the water and given to scientists who are very happy to find you and begin to study you. And then they accidentally kill you in the process. What a sad story. By the way, afterwards, scientists found out that Ming the clam might well have been immortal if they hadn't opened the shell. Damn it. Immortal jellyfish. Sometimes immortality is not just eternal life in one form. Jellyfish Turritopsis nutricula knows exactly. It's possible to change constantly and at the same time to be considered officially immortal. It's quite simple. This creature, having reached maturity, sinks to the bottom and turns into a polyp covered with chitin cuticle. Then buds appear on the polyp under the cuticle where the future jellyfishes are formed. After a while, they go floating on their own. That is one jellyfish sort of divided into many little ones, and this process can repeat itself an infinite number of times. Turritopsis nutricula only dies if somebody eats it. Tardigrades. The first time you hear of a tardigrade, it's like they're not even from our planet.
Yeah! Who the hell are you? My name's Vernon. I'm a water bear. What's a water bear? There's a moss piglet or a tardigrade.
They are the toughest and
Ugly!
These microscopic invertebrates can live without water and food for up to 30 years, tolerate extreme temperatures, and even radiation. Even 302 degrees Fahrenheit doesn't seem to be an unpleasant condition for a tardigrade. It may well last up to 10 hours at this temperature. A hell of a frost to minus 457 degrees is no problem either, nor is pressure
That
of
thing's
6,000
ugly.
atmospheres.
This creature is extraordinary.
Tough tardigrades live in hot springs at the top of the Himalayas and in the sea at a depth of 2.4 miles. From the polar regions to the equator, one can find tardigrades everywhere if one searches well. If conditions seem unfavorable to them, tardigrades just stop their metabolism and wait. And they know how to wait. Some scientists believe that even if all life on our planet disappears, the tardigrades will be fine. No mass extinctions from the past have affected them in any way. Volcanic eruptions, a new ice age, cosmic exposure, a star blast. Tardigrades are so cool that they won't even turn back on that blast.
That is stupid!
Planarians. Actually, planarians are small flatworms spread all over the world.
Ah!
Usual about them if it weren't for their amazing ability of turning lost body parts into separate organisms. If you divide the planarian along or across, each part of it becomes an independent individual. Even the tiniest pieces, which make up no more than 1% of the planarian, can turn into an entire organism in just a couple of weeks. You could say that the planarians are the true genius of regeneration. All other animals can do so only with their cells in the early germ stages. But planarians are ready to regenerate at any age and in any direction. Just give it some time. Tortoise Jonathan. When you think of a creature so old it seems immortal, you usually picture a tortoise, like Jonathan.
This is Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan.
He hatched around 1832 and has long lived on St. Helena. Jonathan was brought from the Seychelles in 1882 at the age of about 50. Since then, he's lived at the official residence of the governor, and sometimes he appears on some photos. One day, Jonathan went further and was listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest land animal on the planet. At the same time, he's also the oldest tortoise. Today, Jonathan is 188 years old and has lost his sight and sense of smell, but he can hear and he feels great. He's also always open to new things, so in 2017, it turned out that one of his favorite females was actually a male.
Oh my.
And it doesn't look like Jonathan was upset. Greenland shark. Maybe you've never heard of Greenland sharks. It's a pity, though. Some of them must have been around your great-grandmother's great-grandmothers, and that's not even the limit.
Really?
Greenland sharks have the longest lifetime of any vertebrate animal species. Scientists
What?
estimate their life expectancy at 300 to 500 years.
What?
They're also more ancient species, and yes, we want to call them ancient rather than old. In 2019, in the North Atlantic, scientists found a shark whose age exceeded 512 years. It didn't show an ID, but it is known that Greenland sharks grow by 0.39 inches in a year. With the help of simple calculations, it was proven that the researchers found a shark older than Shakespeare.
I don't understand Shakespeare.
But the other scientists didn't agree with such calculations. They assumed that the shark was born in the 17th century. But even so, it could have been around a famous English playwright. Hydra. Some creatures can only be called absurd, like hydras. Not the ones with a bunch of heads.
Hey!
Certainly not Marvel's comic book organization.
Hail Hydra.
Hydra is a tiny creature with a soft body that lives in fresh water. With a maximum body length of 0.39 inches, hydras could hardly interest scientists, if they weren't immortal. The idea that these tiny things can live forever appeared a long time ago, but it wasn't proven until 1997. Back then, scientists watched hydras for 4 years and found that they didn't die of old age. They didn't even get old. At the end of the 4-year experiment, hydras looked as young as they did the day they started. Probably because of the regeneration that makes Hydra biologically immortal. You can't die if your cells are constantly regenerating. Does that make any sense? Yep,
Yeah.
Ted Boole would agree. We can only guess how many years a Hydra can live. Perhaps even 10,000 years. Red sea urchin. The life of red sea urchins could be called boring, but this boredom lasts a very, very long time. 50 years? Easy. 100? Easy peasy. Even 200 years for a red sea urchin is no time. Or maybe there are older ones, just scientists haven't gotten to them yet. I mean, the urchin that was born the day of the Battle of Austerlitz is still alive and well, if no one ate him. What's more, it feels as fine as the young ones. It's barely getting any older.
Who
It
ate
used to be thought
him?
that red sea urchins lived 7 to 15 years, like many other underwater creatures. But then it turned out that they can have such a lifetime, which anyone will envy but the other characters in our video. And although none of the known Earth creatures live forever, red sea urchins seem almost immortal. They die because of predators and fishermen's actions. In rare cases from diseases, but certainly not from old age. See you later.
That was a good video. But, as usual, it's your boy, Grant the Frog. Tell me which one was the best one in the comments. But, it's your boy, Craig the Frog. Cricket, cricket, cricket. And I'm out of here. Hey!
See me grinding on my channel. I just pulled up in that Lambo. I'm so hot I need a fan on. In Diego in the sando. Walk around in Gucci sandals. G-Wagon I pull up like skirt. And I put that Louis V on my